Today, I am saying goodbye to my favorite cruise ship. I've been on 51 cruises on 18 different cruise lines. So when I say the American Queen is my all-time favorite ship, you know I had a large selection to pick from. Hi, I'm Sandy from Sandy Over 70. Welcome to my channel. I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already. It's a story with a sad ending. It started out in 1996 when John Wagner founded the American Queen Steamboat Company. The flagship ship was the American Queen, and it had 400 passengers and was built as an authentic reproduction of a Mississippi steamboat. Eventually, 3 other smaller ships joined the company: the American Duchess, the American Countess, and the American Empress. They all had around 200 passengers, but it was always the Queen that was the beauty. The other ships were lovely, but the Queen had unique features that no other ship in the world has. I waited until my early 70s before I tried a Mississippi riverboat cruise because I had a feeling it was for older people. And when I reached my 70s, I knew I was one of those older people, so I gave it a try. But I was skeptical, and I actually booked the smallest inside cabin on the American Queen because for some reason I thought, I'm not going to like this and I don't want to waste my money, and even the smallest cabin was expensive. Well, it turned out to be a wonderful experience. I loved every minute of it, and eventually I also cruised on the Snake and Columbia Rivers on the Empress, and I came back and cruised on the American Queen again. Unfortunately, this company with only 4 ships was not really able to make it through the pandemic. And Mr. Wagner sold the company to a large company called Hornblower. They went bankrupt last year. And in the past year, the 4 ships went up for auction. They actually didn't have anyone bidding, and there wasn't an auction because the only cruise line interested in them was American Cruise Line, which is the competing river cruise line in the USA. They have 19 ships and seem to be financially stable. American Cruise Line offered $6.3 million for the 4 ships and purchased them for $6 million. Now, if they were to build a comparable ship like American Queen today, it would cost $63 million. So they got a pretty good deal. However, these ships were not in perfect condition, and American Cruise Line immediately scrapped the American Countess and the American Duchess. They still are thinking about what to do with the Queen and the Empress. The Queen currently sits in Houma, Louisiana, at a recycling site. Yes, that's right. That's where they scrap ships. There's been quite an uproar about losing the American Queen to scrap because it's such a beloved and iconic ship. They were not having any problem selling tickets to the ships. People loved that ship. It was different from any other ship that I've ever been on. And I'm going to be showing you some photos of the outside and mostly the inside, which is where all of the antiques and the unique features were. So why didn't American Cruise Line just add American Queen to its fleet? They have a business model where they build their ships here in the United States. They build new ships, several every year. As I said, they have 19 ships at this point, so they're all relatively new. They build them in a certain way so that they appeal to modern customers. The cabins are large, and the food is good. I will say that. I have no complaints about that. They have many itineraries, and the Queen would have required millions of dollars to get it up to snuff for environmental standards. There are some things that would be very difficult to change. The cabins on the American Queen are small, especially the inside cabin that I had was the smallest cabin I've ever had. But I was having so much fun, I didn't really mind. The Queen just doesn't fit into the pattern of what they are building. Now, in their defense, because I think they know people are upset about it being in the scrapyard, they have offered it to cities along the Mississippi River. In particular, the mayor of Red Wing, Minnesota, has mentioned that he was offered the ship and he's taken it to his council. But they're hesitant because it will be expensive to keep up and to make any necessary renovations or changes that are needed. Many cities have found that these type of ships can become a great tourist attraction. Think about the Queen Mary out in California. And they can be used as restaurants and hotels. The mayor said he was thinking about it, but no decision has been made yet. The ship sits in Houma, and it does have a crew on it because you can't just abandon a ship. The environment would destroy it. So I suppose there's a small possibility of it being saved, but it doesn't look likely. And now I'd like to show you some photos of the American Queen so you can see why it is so special. Enjoy. The American Queen, with her bright red paddle wheel, towering fluted stacks, and abundant fretwork, looks as though she just sailed out of the Victorian era. Her interiors are resplendent in mahogany, rich fabrics, and Tiffany glass. The atmosphere on board is warm, welcoming, and friendly, with her all-American crew, the epitome of Southern hospitality. Longer than a football field, towering 6 decks in height and laced with fanciful, opulent gingerbread trim, she is a marvel of modern engineering. The American Queen riverboat was the first one acquired by American Queen Voyages. She was built in 1995 and is said to be the largest river steamboat ever built. We were in cabin 211, category D, with a large window and window seat. On the shelf in the cabin, we found 2 silver thermal water containers that you could fill up at water stations located by the elevators. We didn't actually use these this time, but last time we did keep them filled with water during the cruise. In the lobby is the purser's office, shore excursions, and a gift shop. It is accessed through a lovely staircase. There is also a player piano in the lobby that I really enjoyed listening to. The Mark Twain Gallery is the highlight of this deck. It's full of antiques and collectibles and model ships. The glass cabinets have an array of fascinating items. At the end of the hall, there is an area where you can use computers and printers. There's also a coffee station and cookie station, and their cookies are very good. People gather in here to play cards often or to wait for dinner time. It's just a very relaxing, cozy place. The ladies' parlor is a throwback to older times. It too has an array of antiques. It's not restricted to ladies, although I actually have never seen men in there, but they are welcome. I've seen women playing cards and working the crossword puzzle. It's not a busy place, so it's a good place to relax. The gentleman's card room is also seldom used, but it's a relaxing area. Women are certainly welcome. And if you're looking for a quiet spot to read a book, this is it. This staircase leads from the second deck down to the main deck where the dining room and grand saloon is located. The dining room is 2 stories high and has open seating. Prime rib and lobster were available at all times. Across from our cabin were private balconies where those with suites could view the shows at night. There was one that was open, and I would sneak in there occasionally to watch the rehearsals, but I preferred sitting down in the main area for the shows. Besides the big production shows at night, they also used the room for games and lectures by the River Lorien. The production shows were top rate. The 4 singer dancers were terrific and just were so enjoyable and talented. They did a variety of acts. They could sing, they could dance, and they were first-rate entertainers. My favorite place on board is the engine room lounge, where Jay and Logan provided live music every night from 9:45 to midnight. The paddle wheel is visible from the engine room lounge, and it's fun to go downstairs where you can actually see the steam pistons that propel the paddle wheels and make the ship run. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up. Take care and have a great day.